Welcome back, everybody, to K Fabe Talks. I'm Owen. I got my co-hosts Ethan and Thomas. And this past week was a very interesting one in wrestling because we're dealing with the fallout of Elimination Chamber in the WWE, while also setting up WrestleMania. And in AEW, we're also setting up for Revolution, which is Sunday or Saturday.
Sunday, a week from
Sunday.
today.
I knew it. But there was one big thing to happen three times. A title changed. And we're going to get the big one out of the way. We have a new Intercontinental Champion, Penta. Yay! That's the big title change. I think we can all agree. Right? Right, guys?
I think I'm just a hater, Thomas.
I think we're gonna get to a bigger one towards the end of the show, but
False.
happy for Penta.
Yeah.
So I think we'll let Thomas take this one. Thomas, what did you think of the win?
So, like I just said, congrats to Penta. Very proud of him. Becomes the first Mexican-born wrestler to win the Intercontinental Championship. Obviously, there have been Mexican wrestlers, Eddie Guerrero, Dominic Mysterio, who just was the previous title holder, his father, Rey Mysterio. However, neither of them were actually born in Mexico. So Penta becoming the first to do that, huge accomplishment, making all Lucha Libre proud. And it was just a phenomenal match. I had the pleasure of being able to watch Monday Night Raw from start to finish in its entirety this past Monday. I'm looking forward to doing so again tomorrow when they're in Seattle. But just a phenomenal match to be, I guess, match wise, the main event of the card. And I really like how they set up this match because, we saw Danhausen make his television debut at Elimination Chamber, being the surprise mystery that was in the box, and then seeing his Monday Night Raw debut as the Judgment Day are heading to the ring. They had a run in with Danhausen, and Finn Balor seemed pretty cool with them, but JD McDonough and Dominic Mysterio not so much. And Danhausen then put a curse on Dominic Mysterio, which played a big part in him losing that championship. But what also played a big part is the shenanigans of the Judgment Day, because Dominic Mysterio, being kind of pushed on by Finn Balor to do it himself, which he's not really known for doing, always trying to find a way to get a competitive edge to play the numbers game, and I guess I'll just say it, even cheat at times when the ref isn't looking. And so, match was going clean. Dom started to get a little frustrated that he couldn't finish Penta, so he asked JD McDonough to hand him the ring bell hammer. To which Finn Balor stood up and kind of just stopped JD from doing so, saying like, "Hey, he needs to win this clean." He said he wants to do it himself, and I thought Corey Graves had a really good call alongside Michael Cole, saying that yes, Dominic Mysterio said he did want to do it himself, but did he really mean it? And I just kind of think that perfectly encapsulated who Dominic Mysterio is at this moment in time. Being the, I guess, leader of the Judgment Day, wearing that IC gold. Um, and then that allowed Penta to kind of get an upper hand as he went flying through the ropes, took out both JD McDonough and Finn Balor, and then got back in the ring. Almost got hit by 619, which is a favorite move of mine that obviously is patented by the Mysterio family, and was able to get out of harm's way from that, and then hit the Mexican Destroyer and pin Dominic Mysterio for the win. So just a fantastic match. Really liked kind of how they continue to build that Finn Balor is going to turn babyface and split from the Judgment Day, which I know all three of us want to happen. Him get a singles push, and then you have Danhausen before the match cursing Dominic Mysterio. So just a lot of really fun elements to this. A lot of different storylines kind of woven into it. And again, congrats to Penta becoming the first Mexican-born Intercontinental Champion. Really excited to see who he faces. I hope he holds the belt going into WrestleMania. Going to be exciting to have just fresh faces competing for that Intercontinental Championship.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's my turn. Yeah, I mean, obviously, congrats to Penta. Um, he's been fighting. He's been working for that title to win the title for a few months now. was obviously a big thing. Also with him, like Thomas said, being Mexican born, the first Mexican born one to win it. Also huge. Then Thomas did a good breakdown of the match. I hope I'm a little frustrated because on the one hand I wanted Dom and to fight to defend the title at Mania. And now that pretty much solidifies we're getting Dom and Finn at WrestleMania more than likely. Um, which means Finn won't be involved in the Punk and Roman match, which is fine, I guess. Which is fine. Um, there's another point I was gonna make. Now I forgot. Oh yeah. Hopefully this means that they're gonna make the IC title relevant again. I say that because there was a brief moment where I forgot who had the title, and like because Dom was injured, remember, so he wasn't even showing up with the title. So it just made me like, what? So I hope putting it on Penta, he'll defend it every single week, and bring the what's the word I'm looking for? To like make the title more relevant
Yeah, make it have
and
relevancy.
yeah, and make it more distinguished in the company. Because it kind of lost its momentum and star power when Dom just never wrestled for to defend it. But hopefully this will bring it back. This will be what Becky and Lyra were doing for the women's IC title, making it like a title to be fought for.
Yeah, I agree. Um, Obviously, congratulations to Penta. Deserved. Dom, I think won it at Mania last year, and then like did nothing until Cena came in, and then Cena won it, and then lost it, and then Dom again did nothing with it. So
Mm-hmm.
glad to see it go to someone else. Hopefully, it gets defended more, like Ethan said. I think it's very obvious that it's setting up Finn versus Dom. And the night when it happened, I texted Thomas and because Ethan was in the car with me, and I texted Thomas, and I was just like, "We're either getting Dom versus Danhausen or Dom versus Finn at Mania," just because. I mean, that was the first thing Danhausen did was curse Dom, so I just thought, maybe that would happen and try and keep the door open for Finn in the main event, which I swear we're the only people that try and push that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the Dom versus Finn was something that should have happened last year. It didn't, but we're gonna get it. Obviously, Finn is in for a big babyface run. Whether he wins the title or not, he's still going to be a huge babyface. Just because, I mean, they're constantly putting him to like the front of the stories that he's in. So yeah, I think it should be a fun one to watch. I'm intrigued to see what they're going to do with Penta at WrestleMania. I don't know who he could go against. So that I'm happy. I'm just wondering where that part goes because we know where the Dom part goes. But it should be a fun ride.
Yeah, and real quick too, I kind of want to push back on something you said is that Dom did nothing until Cena got there. I think you are forgetting about his both hilarious and also just banger of a match feud that he had at SummerSlam with AJ Styles for the Intercontinental Championship. I know it's kind of a while ago, but that was a really good feud. I felt like, and yes, he didn't have that many defenses. Before Cena, he only defended it against three other opponents, and one of those was a AAA wrestler, an Octagon Junior.
Mhm.
But he defended against Penta twice, defeated him at Backlash and on Monday Night Raw, and then defeated AJ Styles on Monday Night Raw, and then again at SummerSlam. And that SummerSlam match was a very, very good one. Paying homage to Eddie Guerrero with slipping the boot off and getting the best of AJ there. So I do want to give Dominic his flowers and can't wait to see what he does. Now that he doesn't have the belt, how they try and build him back up, and whether it is a rivalry with Finn Balor, who he could view that cost him the match, whether it's Danhausen, who you could also hold him responsible for costing the match. It's going to be very interesting to see where his character goes from here. But
Mhm.
just wanted to say, you got to give him his flowers for at least the AJ Styles feud. I kind of, again, just push back on the narrative that he didn't do anything until Cena. Also, those Cena matches were great, but the AJ Styles one, especially, were good as well.
He wrestled AJ Styles?
Owen was wrong.
No, I just don't remember that. I have no memory of that.
Everyone point and laugh.
SummerSlam match, man, it's really good.
Imma have to. I
Point and
don't
laugh.
remember any of that.
Point and laugh.
Point and laugh.
Don't point
I
and
know you're a
laugh.
Cena guy, so obviously you're gonna bring up, Cena, but
Oh, no.
Yeah, you can't diminish AJ Styles, man.
I'm not. I just forgot it happened.
Not too late, you already did it.
Anyway, later on
He
in
is
the
a
night.
legend.
Oh, now he admits it. Later on in the night, we got the segment that at least Ethan was excited for. Not that I wasn't, not that Thomas wasn't. I just figured it'd be a good way to segue to the next segment, which is Roman and Punk. Their little promo battle that they had. Just got a notification. That was weird. Anyway, Ethan, take it away.
It was a good promo. Definitely set sort of raised the bar and the energy of the match that they're going to have. Especially, I'm just gonna say it right now, especially at the end when Punk said he's gonna bury Roman next to his father. That was an interesting one. Now I 100% know that Roman is gonna talk about Larry. Because the entire week, Punk has been talking about Larry. He talked about the tattoo. He talked about how he's been crying every day. Like, they're obviously going to use that. So we all know Roman's gonna bring up Larry and talk about that. But it was also good because they sort of dived into the history that they have with each other. They talked about how they were in where the Shield first debuted. You know, and Roman was just talking about how while yes, Punk brought up Seth and Dean, he didn't bring up Roman. Um, because Roman wasn't Punk's pick; it was some other wrestler. I don't remember his name. And
I remember.
what was his name?
Cassidy, oh no.
Yeah, whoever that guy is.
I believe that was it.
good memory.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Good day.
And obviously it shows because we don't really talk about him unless it's bringing up the Shield. But I have to say he's a bad wrestler. I don't want to diminish
Chris
anything that he's
Hero.
probably done
Sorry.
outside of WWE. I don't want to diminish that.
Sorry. It was Chris Hero, now known as Cassius Oh no.
Okay,
Had to
but
look that up.
yeah, I mean it was a good back and forth. Um, it was also interesting because Punk was like, "You don't have a wise man anymore. Remember, I took him away from you." Mm, it was more Seth. He stole Heyman for one night. Seth has had him since that same night as well. I don't know. I don't know about Punk being the one to take him away, but it's whatever. I'm probably wrong on that. But yeah, it was a good promo. I don't really have much else to say. I didn't really plan in the detail.
Yeah, I agree. It was a very good promo. I thought Roman Reigns made a lot of very good points. Um, Again, yeah, just the verbal sparring they continue to have going back and forth, especially for this being only the second promo they've done now. Obviously, Roman will be appearing more regularly as we're just a little over a month away till WrestleMania. Obviously, their main eventing night too, going to be a phenomenal match. But particularly, what I think um, what I agree with what he said about CM Punk is because you brought up Ethan how he mentioned that he's gonna bury Roman next to his dead father. is that right before Punk said that, or maybe just a few minutes before, uh, Roman was talking about how Punk has the fans fooled, and that he's posting pictures of how happy he is in the locker room, but behind the scenes he's really just not a nice guy, and he's not unhappy. He's always complaining, and every time Roman comes back, WWE management and his cousins and whatnot are always there to tell him about it. Is I think Punk kind of proved him correct because he just moments before that was like, oh, like you're not a good person. And then what does he do? He goes and says that he's going to bury him next to his dead father, which to me is very heel like behavior, right? Like we saw Drew McIntyre say that to Cody Rhodes before he beat him in the Three Stages of Hell match on SmackDown. So, uh, kind of proven Roman's point correct. And then another thing I really liked of Roman is how he said once he wins the belt, that he is going to send CM Punk on a John Cena like retirement tour. So I thought that was very funny. And then he said he's going to send him down to NXT to train the next generation. And then when they're trained, he's gonna have to send them up to Roman, and Roman's just gonna beat them anyways. So a lot of really good points from Roman. I think were said. Punk again held his own on the mic. We know how incredible he is, but I think so far that it's 2-0 Roman in terms of these promos. I know Ethan will probably disagree with me, but I think he really got the best of him for the second time in a row. Can't wait to see
I
what he says tomorrow night too. Again, I agree. He probably is going to bring up CM Punk's dead dog Larry. Should be some fireworks. Get your popcorn ready.
I know who the heel is in this rivalry. It's got to be Punk. No, Punk. Punk's the heel. I stand by it. Definitely not biased against Ethan, but we know the heel is Punk. Thomas.
Roman is the heel.
Thomas, you're saying Roman's the heel. Good it.
I was just acknowledging my tribal chief.
Fair. But I thought it was a good promo. Um, should be interesting to see what happens tomorrow night. I do think Roman was telling the truth. Again, I may be biased. I might not. You'll never know.
I mean, in my unbiased opinion, I genuinely think Rome was telling the truth. I have no problems with CM Punk. Like, I
Listen,
genuinely think Roman got the best of him.
heel Punk is the best Punk. So I think if Punk is a heel, it's still gonna be a face versus face, but Punk can lean into that heel category. It'll still be a good.
Yeah. I think the promo was good. Bringing up the dead dad was a little interesting.
Oh, so Cody can do it every week and everyone loves him, but Punk does it once and it's all
Because it's different when you're the one talking about your own parent.
Yeah, I was gonna
nah.
When
say one
somebody
is talking
else
about his
when
own
somebody
father.
else's parent.
It's just bias, bro. Everyone's flipping out, but when Cody does it and he cries, it's all like we want Cody, we want Cody.
Oh, and another thing too. Again, this is kind of just three things. Because I already said two previously, so this will be the third that I agree with Roman. Is another great point he made was that Punk was not supposed to be champion. And I wholeheartedly believe that to be true because if Seth Rollins had not gotten hurt, I 100% believe that he would have retained at Saturday Night's main event. And I
Mm-hmm.
can't even tell you who Punk beat at Saturday Night's main event. I
Jey
honestly
Uso.
forgot.
Yeah, so
Okay, yeah, what a lame match. Uh,
Agreed.
remember because Punk kicked him in the head for botching a move?
I didn't even watch it, so that's how why I didn't know it was Jay. But what a terrible match! Would have been way better if Seth had been healthy. Now that he is back healthy, I imagine, as he stated, that he will face the winner of this main event of WrestleMania because in his words, and again, I agree with them, he never actually lost the belt. He had to give it up due to the injury. But
Mm-hmm.
again, Roman bringing that up, I just thought it was true because, if Seth hadn't gotten hurt, I think he would have still had the belt. And then we could potentially have gotten Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns in the main event in a singles match. And uh, it kind of, again, like a very comedic way, brought up the fact that the only reason WWE brought Punk back was to sell T-shirts and keep the fans entertained and fill up crowds, especially in Chicago because you always see the pop he gets in Chicago. So again, just a lot of great points from the tribal chief Roman Reigns, and very interested to see them go at it again on the mic tomorrow night.
To go back on your point of Punk never going to win the title. He technically already beat Gunther at SummerSlam. Therefore, he was already a world title holder.
I know,
Even
but I
if just
mean,
for a
like in the
moment, it
long
still
run.
counts.
I mean, in
So
the long,
your points, nah, your point's gone. At
you
some
know
point,
what I
Punk was going to win the title. It doesn't matter. He was going to win that title because originally I think he was planning to go against Seth at WrestleMania 40, but he injured himself. So I mean I think so. I'm pretty sure Punk was probably going to win that. So I mean it's just I just think it was going to happen no matter what.
You know, there was a moment in that promo that made me go, "What?" Punk goes, "Roman, you're not in the main event because you won the Royal Rumble, and you're
Yeah.
not in the main event because something else. You're in the main event because I am the main event or whatever."
hmm
Roman would have been in the main event no matter what. Punk's gotta inflate his ego.
That's not entirely true because Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble and he started WrestleMania 41.
Okay, Ethan, who's more likely to main event a WrestleMania, Royal Rumble or not? Jey Uso or Roman Reigns?
Jey Uso did. Do
No,
you see the crowds and the sales every week?
no.
Because
mean.
that's
Run
the
it back,
only
dude.
reason he's
Run it
getting
back,
booked.
dude.
Roman would have been in the
Run it back,
main
dude.
And
event.
that's just
Dude.
and that's also the same excuse everyone else is giving for Jey Uso and like, oh, it's on the internet. It's just such and such. He's getting the crowd moving every week. There you go.
Roman would have been the main event no matter what. It does not matter. He was going to be
No,
the
I
main
know.
event. So, Punk, you're wrong. Take the L.
It's called rage bait.
I'm talking to Punk. All right. That's all we got for Monday Night Raw. We're going to move on to AEW. We've got MJF doing what was a pretty good match for the AEW Championship against Kevin Knight. Ethan, start us off.
Um, like Owen said, it was a really good match. Obviously going in, we knew MJF was going to win. Because it's very hard to do title match bookings on a weekly show heading into a pay per view because you just know more than likely the title holder is going to win. But it did a good job at building. Um, what was the opponent's name again? Something
Kevin
Knight.
Knight.
Kevin Knight. I
So
knew.
nice.
How?
I knew it
How?
started with I knew his last name was Knight, but for some reason I was thinking like the boys, like Ted Knight or something. I was like, that's not right. But yeah, no, it did a good job at building him up. It obviously means that they got big plans for him in the future because he was able to. I mean, the crowd was so behind him later on in the match. I mean, if he wins the title in like 2 years, I would not be surprised. I'm gonna be honest, because his match is really good, and it shows that he's gonna be in the main event scene at some point sooner rather than later.
I agree 100%. It was a phenomenal match, especially to open the show, right? Like a match of that magnitude, with your biggest star, Maxwell Jacob Freeman, holding that belt. You think it would have been the main event, and a much bigger, I guess, in the grand scheme of things, main event came along right after this match. Was that Kevin Knight looked really, really strong against the champion MJF, and there were a lot of great spots in this match. Particularly, Kevin Knight hit a coast to coast, and then went for a frog splash, and it looked like he was about to win it potentially, get the pin. But as he was going for it, MJF, in his typical heel way, tripped the referee onto the ropes to break up the count, and so Kevin Knight, kind of had the win stolen from him in that regard, and then just a few moments later, after the ref stood back up, MJF hit the heat seeker right on the apron for the win. But just really good match. MJF did a really good job of making Kevin Knight look strong. Kevin Knight did a really good job of looking like a real threat to MJF. So they just worked really well together. And kind of to your last point there, it seems like based on what happened in the main event later on that night, which we'll get to here in a minute, that Kevin Knight could be a real threat as a single star.
Yeah, I thought it was a great match. I'm excited. I hope they give Kevin Knight a little bit of a bigger push. But like Ethan said, it was so obvious MJF was going to win. He was not dropping the title before a big Texas death match against one of AEW's biggest stars. It wasn't happening. But it was a good match. That's honestly all I have to say. You guys kind of hit the nail on the head with it. But next on our list, we have Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin going against. I don't remember. I didn't put it on the list, but whoever they went against, I'm sure Thomas remembers.
It was Gabe Kidd and Clark Connors.
There you go.
After the match was announced that they were all elite, so officially signed to AEW.
Nice.
And I would just like to let it be known that I used my influence on the show to make us talk about this match because
true.
Yes,
it was a
you did.
banger match, and two, Orange Cassidy got the win, so there was no way we could not talk about Dynamite, not talk about my guy, freshly squeezed. So really
Take it
great
away.
match, like I just said. The week before, he had took a pin to Gabe Kidd. Um, was a little disappointed about that because that was his first loss on Dynamite of 2026, but bounced back in a big way, teaming with my second favorite wrestler on the men's roster at AEW, Darby Allin. They worked really well in sync. Were able to get the win over Gabe Kidd and Clark Connors, and just really good match. A lot of high flying. Darby went over the ropes to take out Connors, and then I left Kidd in the ring. Orange Cassidy hit him with the DDT, then was able to, out of that DDT, hit him with the orange punch, and then pin him for the win. So just a really exciting finish. Glad to see them get back in the win column. And it was just announced last night in Collision as well. I was watching, actually took a picture and sent it to you guys in our group chat that gonna run it back on this week's Dynamite. However, Gabe Kidd's um, teammate will be David Finley rather than Clark Connors. So, gonna be interesting to see how that one plays out, and maybe even at Revolution, you see them kind of put that rubber routine in. So anything can happen. Just a fantastic two matches to open Dynamite again. That strong showing from Kevin Knight against the champ MJF, and then my guy, along with my other guy, Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin, getting the tag team win. So really good to see, and hopefully they can pick up another one this week on Dynamite.
Ethan, what were your thoughts on the match?
Um, I don't really remember much of the match. I'm gonna be honest. That isn't like a dig at any of them. I just don't remember it very well. But from what I remember, it was a really good match because we need to have OC and Darby. So I mean, it's gonna be a good match either way. But yeah, I'm still hoping that they get a match at Revolution. I just doubt that they will at this point, so late into it. 'Cause I really want to see them at Revolution. I want to. I mean that'll be big for both of them if they do get it. But yeah, I don't really have much on this match. I'm gonna be honest.
It's
Yeah.
okay. Like I said, I forced us to talk about it because it's my
Yeah,
guy.
I really want them to be at Revolution. I just don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't remember much of this match either.
Was I the only one that was locked in?
Hey, I like Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin. I just don't remember the match. Okay.
Yeah, I really don't remember the match.
Yeah, I
Well,
forgot it
now your
now.
homework for this week is to pay attention to
Rewatch
the
it.
match
Lock is the
on
lock in on Wednesday.
lock in on Wednesday. The second whereas my mind hits, I need you to do what I do because I'll just be looking off to the side like this, and the second it hits, I snap it. and I'm lost. From the
He
second I hear that first note, I'm dialed.
he's not lying. He does it
Yeah, that is
every
entirely true.
time.
That's why I love watching Dynamite with you guys or Collision. Just anytime he's on screen, I'll just be talking. We'll be talking about Smallville or Ted or whatever it is we're watching at the time.
Mhm.
And then the second that song hits, I just snap to attention. Has me in a trance. But love that song. Love the Pixies. And again, just love that OC got the win.
Yeah, I'm with Ethan. I do hope that they're at a match of Revolution. I mean, they very well could. They still got a week, so they could very easily be like something like happens in the match on Wednesday, and they could very easily be like, "Youth four, you're wrestling at Revolution." There you
Yeah,
go.
even if they're on zero
Yeah.
hour, like
Yeah, they could.
till 3 and like I don't just get them on there, man. Like I want to see it.
Yeah, they're.
Tony Khan, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Tony Khan, lock in.
I think they'll have a match.
You gotten book of the year for like 2 years in a row. Come on, man.
Next on our list is the main event for Dynamite. We've got Set it right this time versus the Don Callis family for the Trios Championship. Ethan, take it away.
I will just say this: based on the last three main events on Dynamite, this was the weakest one, but it was still a really good match. I mean, you got like powerhouses like Kyle Fletcher in there and Hangman Adam Page. Good match right there. Um, yeah, I was somewhat surprised that we have new tag champs. I will say, I did. A part of me did think that they were going to hold on to it a little bit longer, considering they only really won it because Powerhouse Hobbs was leaving.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it's going to be interesting now because now Hangman is going into his match without a title. And I'm still, I hope he wins because we don't want another Cody situation. Hangman better win, bro. But back to the match itself. It was a good match. I mean, it's the usual AEW. You got your awesome spots. You got your storytelling involved in it. Because didn't MJF come out? I think he did.
He
Yeah, and,
did.
and
Hmm.
MJF came out and just I don't remember if he did anything or not. But I mean, you have that storytelling right there. MJF being one of the causes for them to lose the tag titles is insane. And this definitely added some heat to their already heated rivalry. And it's going to be a really good um, segment on Wednesday when they go face to face and have another promo battle.
Yeah, and to what you just said about MJF, he did involve himself in the match more than just coming out on the ramp as a distraction. Whenever Hangman was not the legal man in this trios match, he hit him with the Diamond Dynamite ring. And
Mm-hmm.
at first I was like, wait a minute, isn't that a DQ? But then you explained to me that he wasn't tagged in, so it was perfectly legal. And so him getting involving himself in there, and kind of what I said about Kevin Knight versus MJF. This match was kind of impromptu based off the first one because after Kevin Knight had lost, the Don Callis family came out and was like, Kevin Knight, like this is won't be the only time you're wrestling tonight because we're coming for those trios championships. And they sent out the big dogs. They put in Pred Okada, obviously Cal Fletcher and Okada. They had Mark Davis, and what stood out to me the most was you mentioned when you have powerhouses like Hangman and Fletcher, it's going to be a great match. But it was Mark Davis actually who ended up getting the pin and on Kevin Knight. So, uh, Kyle Fletcher walks out of this a double champion. He now has a trios title to go to that
Mm-hmm.
TNT title. So, um, I think he's gonna defend it on the TNT that is on Dynamite this Wednesday. So that'll be a great match as is every match he's involved in. And then as you mentioned, Hangman now walks in where it's title or bust at Revolution because He doesn't have that trios championship to fall back on. And I hope this is setting up for the Ops to get their titles back. I know they still got some recruiting to do with my guy Hook now in charge, Samoa Joe being hurt, but going to be interesting to see. And I know you said it was kind of the weaker of the last three main events, but
Mhm.
I still think the main event scene on Dynamite is red hot right now,
Oh
and
yeah,
they're
no,
just
I didn't say it was like a bad thing. I literally just said,
delivering quality matches throughout the start of this year, now into March. So it was great to see. Don Callis family adds even more titles, and they just have a plethora of them over there. So you just build that faction to keep being stronger. And again, I love that Fletcher walks out a double champ, so can't complain. And as well with a strong showing against MJF, and then now he drops hit the trio title. You get guys like Speedball, Mike Bailey, and guys like Kevin Knight. They can now go out on their own and be single stars.
Mm-hmm. First of all, props to Kevin Knight doing, two matches in one night. Props to him. Um,
His wrists were bandaged too.
Oh yeah, they were. Um, I like the match. I like Ethan said, it was the weaker of the past couple, but it's still a banger of a match. You know, I with Adam Page being going into his match title list. Oh no, like so. I don't see the point of him having one, like going in. And so, whatever. Did I see it as a surprise? Kind of. It's hard to see a title change be a surprise when you're going against Kyle Fletcher and Okada. So, eh. But it was a good match. Entertaining. Didn't that go on at like 10 o'clock, or am I thinking of last week? Because
Yeah,
that
it
was
went over.
that was a long Dynamite. At this point, they need to start making it 2.5 like Raw. Because every time it's like time for the main event, they get to it's like 9:50.
mm-hmm.
Like, what are you doing? But overall, good show, good matches. All right, let's get to this next segment. Thomas, what do you want to talk about?
Oh boy, what do I want to talk about? How about how my guy Cody Rhodes on Friday Night SmackDown, QB1 of the WWE, got the proverbial ball back by defeating Drew McIntyre to win his third WWE Undisputed Championship. What a main event. What a match. We now have Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton official for night one main event of WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas. Cannot wait. But just talk about this match. Yes, it may have been a little predictable with Cody winning after Drew had, costed him both the Royal Rumble and the Elimination Chamber, which led to Nick Aldis making this match because he had told Drew time and time again to keep his nose out of other superstars' business, particularly Cody Rhodes. And so, yes, you can say that it was out of pity that Nick Aldis did this, but what you cannot deny is that Cody Rhodes is now a three-time champion. And before I kind of get into the analysis of this match, I just want to say I may have been wrong about the Cody winning the Elimination Chamber, but I was just too early, is what I'll say. Because in my mind, you have Cody win the chamber as his last chance to face Drew, go on to WrestleMania, and then defeat Drew and wrap up the rivalry there. But little did I know that we would get something much better, and that is Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. So just gonna give myself, I guess, a little pat on the back there for being not wrong, just a little early. And now to the match analysis. Again, may have been predictable, but was still a very enjoyable match. I like how Jacob Fatu was involved because Cody Rhodes went for a kick, Drew dodged out of the way. Cody then hit the referee Charles Robinson, so he was down for a bit. Then Cody hit a crossroads and very smartly decided to not go for the pin because anytime you go for the pin, the ref's down, you know you're not going to win. So very veteran move there by Cody to not just waste his time and instead, kind of continue the match and. Uh, a replacement referee came in. Drew was fed up that that referee's count was too slow after he hit Cody with a claymore. So then he decked that ref. You get another ref to go down, and then attempts to grab a chair, which would have been legal since technically there was no ref to see it. But then you have Jacob Fatu kind of run in from behind, wrestle the chair out of his hands. Didn't really get involved other than that. So I thought that was good, having the minimal interference and having it finish relatively clean. Because that still sets up a rivalry because Drew can now view Jacob as having costed him that match, and hopefully they have what's been reported to be a street fight at WrestleMania. I think that would be a very good match. Um, and so, from grabbing that chair, Drew has his attention on Jacob. Cody gets a roll up. Drew kicks out of that roll up. Which I mean, I like roll up finishes personally. I remember one of our episodes we did over the summer when Becky Lynch beat Lyra Valkyria for the IC title in a roll up. I said I was a fan of that, but you couldn't have this one end on a roll up. So I really like that they traded finishers as well. You saw Cody use the Claymore. You saw Drew McIntyre use the Crossroads. That's always interesting to see, especially because I not too long ago watched WrestleMania 40 for the very first time when Cody became champ for the first time, and the same happened in that event where he did a spear and Roman Reigns did a Crossroads. So that's always cool to see. And then after, he got out of that roll up attempt, went for a claymore, missed. Cody was then able to hit not the Cody cutter, but a super cutter off the top rope. Using all his energy and power for that one. And then out of that, into a crossroads, 1, 2, 3, new champ. So you can call him Cody Hogan, you can call him Overpush, but what you have to call him is undeniable and now a 3-time WB champion. So gonna be a phenomenal main event. Looking forward to it so much. And please, Triple H, I'm begging you, keep it a singles match. I do not want Drew weaseling his way to make it a triple threat. I don't want Jacob and Drew weaseling their way in to make it a fatal four-way. Just give us Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton one-on-one for the undisputed title. That is all I ask. But man, what a great Friday night, huh?
I guess you could put it like that. A great Friday night. All right, Ethan, what'd you think?
I thought it was a good match. Obviously, yes, it was. Like Thomas says, was predictable. Yeah, Thomas hit the analysis, but I would say I think the hate is a little undeserved. And because I mean, if you hate that outcome, then you just aren't watching the show. Because that was the most obvious outcome that out of all outcomes that could have outcome. Like,
That's a lot
come
of
on, we all know
It's a
we.
lot.
The moment the match was announced, we all knew Cody was winning. And I even told Thomas, says you have to not be very bright if you think Drew is winning to go face Randy Orton at WrestleMania. But I do find it a little annoying that he's already a 3-time world champ. No, just kidding. It's all right.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited for it. Obviously, Cody and Randy, something that's what fans have wanted since Cody's come back. So I mean, it's exciting that we're finally gonna get it, and that it's gonna probably. I think it's gonna main event night one. That's gonna be huge because now Randy Orton is main eventing WrestleMania for the first time in like 13 years, 12 years. I mean, that's also huge as well. So I will say I am excited for it. Um, I do think, yeah, like I said, I think the hate's a little forced. I mean, come on, it wasn't that bad of a decision, people. IWC.
They're
Sometimes I
just
hate.
miserable people.
Sometimes I hate to be a part of the IWC, bro. But
Word.
yeah.
Boo. Should have been Drew.
They hate to see me winning.
Should have been Drew. All right, now I got that out of my system. It was a good match. Like you guys said, it was predictable. I knew Cody would win. Didn't want him to win. Still pulling for Drew. You know, gotta be different. But yeah, I'm excited for Randy versus Cody. I am. I'm glad to see it with a proper build instead of the tournament style because that was bad decision to do it that way for their first time going against each other. We kind of figured before the match that they were going to set up Drew and Jacob for Mania. We kind of
Mhm.
discussed that, Friday night. We when it actually happened with not Drew, Jacob coming out and interfering, we kind of like, yeah, this is where it happens. So all in all, good match. Um, yeah. Why does he have to be a 3-time champ, man? This match shouldn't have even happened. Drew was told no more rematches from Cody. That was done. 3 stages of hell is supposed to end a rivalry. I'm being serious, by the way. I'm not making a joke.
You know.
Like, come on, man. Why? Could have at least make it a triple threat at least, that we can end both. And if something dumb happens, I don't know. It just felt pointless to me. So, yeah, congratulations, Thomas. Your boy's a champ
Yes,
again.
sir. Yes, sir. Get him to 18, baby. He's breaking Cena's record.
Not
Cody
even close.
Hogan. He's a real American, brother.
He is Cody Hogan.
We do not care.
Well, I think that's gonna do it. Unless you guys
No,
got anything.
no.
No.
I gotta say, I
Raw
got a
GM
bit more
Adam
to
Pierce.
say.
Raw GM Adam Pierce has posted the preview for Raw
Oh,
during the
Oh,
recording of this
okay.
episode.
Never mind, audience.
Yeah, I was waiting. I was waiting for him to be like, "Well, that'll be." And I'd be like, "Wait,
I was looking
that
for
won't
it.
work for me, brother."
Anyway.
But
Whew.
Thomas, you were gonna say something.
Yeah, just to kind of wrap up this segment about Cody. What you were saying was kind of being pointless, and that Drew was told no rematches. Again, Nick Aldis had told him, "Don't test me," and I like that this is kind of building both the rivalry with Jacob and then also one with Nick Aldis, because obviously Nick Aldis, a former wrestler himself, having gone face to face with Drew, not in a match obviously, but they got really heated with each other at the Chamber when Aldis first announced the match, saying like, don't test me, that you don't know what I'm capable of. So would be kind of cool to see. Maybe one day he gets back in the ring and goes against Drew. Probably not going to happen, but just fantasy booking going on here. But
Mm-hmm.
again, that's kind of like the rationale behind that. It's like he literally told him like, hey, like let the process play out. If Cody wins, then he wins. Don't go screw him over, and he did not once but twice. And so, kind of, Drew had to learn the hard way that his actions have consequences. And then another thing that I was gonna say, two more points to make. The first of them being that Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes, because Ethan, you were bringing up, the people that hate this decision,
Hmm.
is a much bigger WrestleMania draw than Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. And that's nothing against Drew McIntyre. He's a phenomenal wrestler. He absolutely deserved his 2-month title reign. Well, with that being said, he only had one defense. It was against Sami Zayn at the Royal Rumble. He should have defended it at Chamber.
Mm-hmm.
What? Because Punk defended it at Chamber. Would have been nice to have both belts defended there. And
Hmm.
maybe that's out of his control, whatever. But would have been nice to see him be more of a fighting champion,
Yeah.
like CM Punk is with the heavyweight title. And then secondly, again, like I just said, kept interfering in Cody's business. So, I know people are gonna kind of look back and like reminisce, like, oh, what a great title reign. But, in my opinion, not that great of a title reign. So now that QB1 has the ball back, you can build up to that match. And if I'm Triple H and creative and just TKO everybody in WWE, right? The whole point of WrestleMania is you're trying to sell tickets. And again, with it being the bigger draw, it is absolutely going to sell more tickets. So I think it's the right decision in that regard. And then secondly and lastly is what I'll say is Cody posted, I saw to his Instagram, a video of him thanking Portland, Oregon, saying that, he'd never forget the night he wrestled there on SmackDown, became a three-time WWE champion, and um, just because we brought up him and Dusty earlier, he made what I thought was a really good comment where obviously he loves his dad, and especially that first championship wanted to win gold for him because he had never done it, but he said that he does it for the living and not the dead, and that he has two daughters, and that his oldest daughter Libby will now get to have five WrestleMania main events, four in a row for 4 years that is, but
Mm-hmm.
since they main evented both night one and two of WrestleMania 45 total, and then now his youngest daughter, who was just born not too long ago, will now have a main event of her own. So I just thought that was a really, I guess, sweet gesture, is what I'll put it as. Kind of giving his motivation for why he does what he does. So, again, very happy that he is champion again, and cannot wait to see this build up because there's a contract signing this Friday on SmackDown between Randy and Cody. So, should be, again, very much like the third promo battle of Punk and Roman tomorrow night. Very interesting.
Drew interferes and signs the contract, adding him to the match.
Please, no.
All right.
Yes, that I want. And you said too that you want both matches to, for main events of both nights to be just one-on-ones, and I 100% agree.
Yeah. No shenanigans, nothing, just a
Mm-hmm.
straight wrestling match. No ref getting knocked down. No, no, no. I'm tired of it. All right. So for the preview for the tomorrow night's Raw, the three matches that have been announced are Rusev versus Oba,
Hmm.
the number one contenders gauntlet to face AJ Lee at WrestleMania for the IC title, and for the men's Intercontinental Championship, it's going to be Penta versus the original El Grande Americano.
Hmm.
So
Already the fighting champ. I like it.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's already doing almost as much title defenses as Dominic.
True.
All right. Do we want to get into this real quick?
Yeah,
Why
I'm down to
not?
give some predictions.
Yeah.
All right, Rusev versus Oba. I'm gonna be honest. I think Oba's winning,
Oh yeah.
just so they
Oba's
can
winning.
establish him
Oba's winning.
real quick that he's you know
Wouldn't you agree, Thomas?
powerhouse.
I agree. I just hope it's not a squash match because
I hope
Yeah,
not
we
either.
all got back down together on Friday. Johnny Gargano was like, "I'm Johnny Wrestling again. Somebody come out and face me." It was Oba. Match was over in 5 seconds. I'm tired of him just having 5 second squash matches. Hopefully, this one is actually for real.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Johnny
do
Gargano come to AEW. You'll be booked better.
reunite with Ciampa.
DIY.
But yeah,
Show the
I
world
got Oba
what you
too.
are.
Again, I think that Rusev puts him over to make him, look like the powerhouse that he is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just hope it's an actual real match and not just a squash.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
agree.
The number one contenders gauntlet. I think it was Lyra, Bailey, Ivy Nile. I'm missing a few. He says it
Oscar,
in.
I think. Or was it Oscar or Kyrie Sane? One of them was in
Let me
there, I think.
look. Maybe
I think Raquel was in it too.
Give me a sec.
Oh, good. Yeah, and I know EO. If you didn't say EO yet, I know she's in it as well.
I have it. It's Lyra, Bailey, Io, Ivy, Oscar, and Raquel.
It is Oscar. Okay.
I have no idea who's winning this one. I really don't. Because I know Bailey wants to go against AJ. She's been because I mean they have really good friends in
Mm-hmm.
real life. She's been kind of pushing for a few years. And when Punk came back, Bailey was like one of the biggest pushers of it backstage for AJ Lee to come back.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know who's gonna win this gauntlet. I truly don't.
Me neither.
I'm just gonna come out and say who I want to win. Raquel Rodriguez.
I knew you were gonna say
Yeah.
that. I
I think
wouldn't
I
I
gotta
wouldn't
agree.
mind it.
Yeah.
Keep her pushed going, man. Like
Rick.
Yeah.
she had a great elimination chamber. You got to keep that momentum going.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Rick. I.
I think definitely it. I want it to be a heel though.
Yeah.
I will say that if it's Asuka or Raquel, that would be phenomenal. Just with AJ being a face. So, and I
Mhm.
know Bailey can tap into kind of that heel persona because they've had that storyline go for a while now of her split
Mhm.
personality. But I think, especially in AJ's case, because it works so well with Becky, that you kind of need to continue that face versus heel.
Mhm.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
top three right now are Raquel, Bailey, and Lyra.
Yeah, the obvious pick I think would be Io just because of
Yeah.
how
Mhm.
open she is.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just feel like being a former like women's world title champion, just had tag team champions. I feel like, and
Mhm.
not to disrespect the IC title, because as Ethan mentioned early on in the show, that title has been built up and to be viewed as very prestigious. But I feel like just based on where she's coming from, it's just a tad bit beneath her, not a whole lot,
Yeah.
but just like a tad. Not, compared to the women's world title she's previously had.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
And
I'm gonna go Raquel. If not,
yeah.
probably Bailey.
And now the men's IC title match: Penta versus the original El Grande Americano.
I mean, it has to be El Grande, right? No, I'm playing. I wish.
I would, I would,
Penta.
I would be behind it, but it wouldn't go for Chad Gable. It would go for original El Grande. So yeah, I gotta go Penta. As much as I love Chad Gable, it wouldn't count towards his overall career.
I don't
When
know
he
why he's
comes to
bringing up. I
WWE,
don't know why you're bringing up Chad Gable.
they're the
Yeah,
same
El
person.
Grande Americana
Yeah,
right
we're
now,
talking about
logo.
El Grande Americano, not
They're
Chad
the
Gable.
same person. I'm not doing this again.
That's like saying
Has that been proven?
Elias and Ezekiel are the same person. Like it just doesn't work.
They are the same
They're
person.
not. There's
How?
literally a photo of them two together.
It's Photoshop.
No, it's not.
That's AI.
I hope Ezekiel's okay though.
Yeah, as much as I would
He's
love,
been in a coma for years.
as
Yeah.
much as I would love for original El Grande Americana to win, I think Penta, you can't have him lose
Hmm.
Yeah.
just a week after, especially to no disrespect to original El Grande, but somebody that's kind of beneath him on the card,
Yeah.
and more of a mid card guy.
They're probably gonna
And
set up the two Grande Americanos.
especially because it's been reported that they're going to have the loser of a match like that would have to reveal
Hmm.
their identity, take the mask off, and then
Yeah.
just kind of to go back to the women's match real quick. Again, I have Penta winning, as much as I would love El Grande to win. To go back to the women's match, I'm very interested to see as well kind of the chemistry, whether earlier on they try to team up or not, Bailey and Lyra Valkyria, because they're a tag team. And Lyra was saying in the segment whenever Bailey went to Pierce to get this championship opportunity match that Lyra should join as well. And so now they're both in it. I'm curious to see how that plays out, especially with Bailey's kind of split personality. Would she be willing to take out Lyra if necessary? Will Lyra be willing to take out Bailey if necessary? Because she stated how much she wants Bailey to be at WrestleMania after missing it last year. So that dynamic is just going to be very interesting to watch, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Hmm. Yeah, I think both will be a good match.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got Penta winning as well.
Yeah, 100%.
So
That's my
let me throw
pick.
that
It's
out there
early to take
in
the
case I
title
didn't
off.
say it.
Should be a good match, though.
Oh,
Two
absolutely.
luchadors, going to be a
Yeah.
banger.
Hmm.
It was that it?
Do we want to talk about the banger promo of Jade and Rhea?
No. No.
Okay. Well, that'll do it for the show then.
As
Yep.
far as I'm concerned, all that happened on SmackDown is Cody Rhodes is a three-time champ.
Cody
That's all
Hogan.
I care about, baby.
Cody Hogan. Well,
Or it's just a hater.
yes, I am. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you made it this far, please like and subscribe or follow us on Instagram, Spotify. We're here. Or all three.
YouTube.
In case you want to listen to us on the road and follow. That's kind of all I got. But with that, hope to see y'all soon. Later.